It helps if you push the record button. Okay, I'll start again because I didn't press record. So goats. We're gonna focus on goats v goats. We're gonna leave the Zen out of this for now. We're gonna talk about how you play with the Moira. So goats is goats is key to winning is how to abuse the cooldowns and how to punish cooldown usages. So the reason why one team is better at goats than another is mostly just due down to how they use their Zarya bubbles and how they punish the Zarya bubble usages. So, say for example, you're just in a 6v6 head-to-head. If you have high pressure and they use cooldowns, for example, say they have Brig right next to their Rein and Zarya just behind their Rein, right? And you're pressuring the Rein really heavily, you use your bubble and they use theirs. As soon as they pop that bubble on the Reinhardt, it should be a big explosion on their Brig. Why? Because Brig is basically like Reinhardt and she's a key part as to why Goats is really good. She has CC. But the thing is that if she's engaged on, not very good at that. If you pull the trigger fast enough and you punish the Brig and punish the cooldown usage that they have, so it's all about using your cooldowns to play aggressively and play reactively, and also punishing their cooldowns out to begin with. So that's basically first fight. Push in, have high pressure on their Reinhardt, force their cooldowns, and then explode on the person that doesn't have the cooldown. So if they bubble the Rein, go on Brig. If they self bubble on Zarya to get charged, burst on the Zarya. If anything, Zarya is the best case scenario there because if you get her out of the way, that's literally all of their damage gone, and all the defensive cooldowns gone because D.Va doesn't really do anything in Goats other than like she's a tank. She can control high ground and yeah, she has DM, so it stops a little bit of damage. So now we're going to talk about how you play against Zen. So it's kind of the same way, except you ignore frontline. Uh, don't focus on winning a tank war. Focus on trying to get yourself into a position to punish the Zen. So if he's like, say for example, he's all the way back here. Obviously, you can't necessarily punish that without literally running halfway across the map. So you abuse that. Try and keep him as far away as possible and engage on again the same way you did before. Bait cooldowns and then punish the cooldown usages. If the Zen is close enough, say for example he's like here and he just dropped down off hooker, pull the trigger, bubble your Rein, the speed into their Zen and kill him. He should not be allowed to walk anywhere close to you. Force him to either swap or stay in spawn. And because you have okay, so the difference between Zen and Moira is that Moira's heals are not infinite if their Reinhardt is alive because she cannot get the suck to then continue to heal. Whereas Zen's heal is infinite and he also has damage behind it. So you need to use those heals effectively. So you need to use them as soon as possible and be explosive with it because she can keep you alive. If she throws a heal orb and heals you as you're speeding into the Zen, it should be a free kill. D.Va can't peel for the Zen apart from knocking you back. Brig can't because she can stun one of you. Zarya can, but if you've already baited the cooldown onto Rein, it's a free kill. So again, it's all about being explosive, but not on the front line. It's all about getting rid of that Zen, because if you focus on the front line, yeah, you might get that kill, but Zen does a lot of damage, and Discord is a big playmaker in tanks. So get him off the table, make your life a lot better. And you never know what cooldowns they might use to actually try and help the Zen, and then you can win the fight based off that. That's basically the first fight in the simplest way possible. So let's talk about how you would set up retaking and obviously uh, holding the map. So I've used this map for as a good example because it really plays into how Goats is strongest at, and that's element of surprise and obviously chokes. So the reason why chokes are good is because you can allow them to get to a certain spot and then you can engage on them, and Reinhardt in a choke is amazing. Like every single one of those heroes in a choke is amazing. The reason, I mean, I could go through every reason, but you should know already why it's good for those sort of heroes to be in a choke, and why it's not good for, like, example, Zen to be in a choke or a healer to be in choke, unless you're the one being aggressive because they have space to play in that choke. So yeah, so what I would suggest that you should do, and obviously this also represents how you should play it on retake, is understand they want to be explosive. Try and like randomly guess where they would set up, and just adapt to it. So let's just say, I don't know, we've lost 2 fights and they've always set up in this room, because it's really good, because if we walk down here, we can take an engage, and if they walk through main, they can take an engage. What can you do differently? Take a different route, take a longer route. So you have to understand how to set up and how to counter the setup. So obviously, most of the time you play around the ult cooldowns, right? So Reinhardt normally gets his ult straight off the bat because you're all about the tank war at the beginning and he does most of the damage. So you need to have high pressure on Ryan when they have the shadow to make sure that he cannot get that free shadow and make sure that he cannot really enable his team. The same with Zarya. Check corners. Always check corners. Like the amount of times that I've seen um, people just waltz in without checking corners against goats is ridiculous. Also, another thing. A thing I see a lot when it plays goats v goats about playing around shatter. Now, the reason why it's so good about playing a choke again is because Brig can stand legit in the middle of something and she can always check, and she can be the one to initiate and stun before the Zarya has a reaction time of getting the bubble off. What do? Legit use D.Va as a face check. You can push D.Va forward and doesn't matter if she gets stunned. She has enough armor and enough survivability on her own to get out. And obviously you can bubble the D.Va if she gets stunned, so there should be no damage at all. But what you could do is, say for example you're the blue team and they're holding close like this, they're looking for a stun, a speed stun shatter, and you're this Reinhardt. Hey D.Va, can you check corners? D.Va comes out from the opposite side of the choke as to where the point is, because if you go through this side, they're most likely going to be on that right side. But if you go this side, most likely person to be there is maybe Zarya, not Brig, because the Brig is too far away from the Reinhardt. So you face check, walk in, oh they're close right side, and then what you do is you obviously come through the opposite side to where they are, and you stick D.Va in front of your Ryan. What is gonna kill your D.Va other than a high charge Zarya? But by this time of resetting, she's like 20%. You walk in the choke with D.Va right in front of your Ryan, that there is no chance, or you make it very difficult for them to stun. This is one thing I don't see a lot of teams abusing. The fact that you can legit just face check with another hero that isn't Reinhardt, because he's the only person that can, well not the only person, but he's the only real reliable way of blocking shatter, unless your shield dies. So try and abuse that. D.Va is a scout. Use her as a scout. If you have the resources to protect her when she's scouting, as long as she doesn't go solo, then you can do so. Don't just randomly walk in with Reinhardt first. So basically all I can say about playing from a defensive point of view is be explosive, and obviously from a retake point of view, just bear in mind that you're running the same comp, so think about how you would set up and what you would play around and what ult you have, because it could mirror the same for the enemy team. Obviously, unless your Zarya got insta killed and their Zarya was high charged, then you obviously know they probably have grav. So honestly, it's not necessarily a mechanical outplay. It's all about how you use cooldowns, how you punish cooldown usages, and using your team comp to enable one another. And obviously using the utility you have with like D.Va as a scouting mechanism rather than face checking them. So overall, just GOATS is simply team play, cooldown usage, and ult usage, and using the composition to its best strength, which is explosive, which is one person being barreled on by all six, and obviously understanding when a regroup call is needed. Because I see a lot of teams that run goats just like spread across the whole map. They don't know where they are, they don't know where their team is, and then they get split and they get picked. That's my basic rundown. I'm not too sure if that helped much. Let me know and I'll see if I can improve it. Or if I have any more information, I can add that as well. Okay, bye bye.